is Libby Lee from Maricosta's Sociology 101 summer semester class, and for my final video I'll be talking to you about the socialization of adopted children. I chose to talk about this topic because I'm very interested in cultures. I myself am from two different cultures. My dad is from China and my mom is from Mexico. So the idea of adoption interests me a lot because many of the kids that I see that are adopted usually aren't from the same cultural background or ethnicity that their adopted parents are. So that gave me some interest there. And also the socialization of these adopted children and how their upbringing could be so much more different than that of a child who is not adopted. Throughout the video, I will cover the changes in adoption over history. Then I will talk about the challenges that come with being adopted into a family that is of a different background. And then lastly, I will talk about how the socialization of adopted children differs in that of a children who is not. So for my first point, I would like to start off with a quote. Although the international adoption of children in the USA has declined in recent years from 22,884 in 2004 to 17,438 in 2008. It is estimated that 30,000 to 40,000 children are internationally adopted worldwide, meaning more children are in foster care or governmental institutions because the adoption rates have decreased. This is also by CIMIC 2011. The majority of the parents that are adopting children are predominantly white/Caucasian, which leads to the assumption that they are the adopted parents are usually different in race or culture than that child that they are planning to adopt. Despite the declining numbers in adoptions in recent years, adoption has become a norm in today's society. According to Kevin Galvin's scholarly journal in 2003, the norm of a biologically related family has been changing, such that contemporary U.S. families are more variable than ever before. This creates a change in the way we perceive the definition of family because it is no longer a group of people who share the same family bloodline, but now it is people who come together and support one another. For my next topic, I'd like to talk about the importance of the adoption story. In Harrigan's study, we see that the key thing is being open to the child. Quote, although the exigencies surrounding adoption stories are complex, adoption stories are more important because they impact family members in a multitude of ways. For instance, family storytelling often begins with the process of negotiating the child's adopted identity. End quote. Harrigan 2010. This gives us insight on the importance of adoptive identity in which the child knows who they are and where they come from. Identity is really important in anyone's life because if someone doesn't have a grasp on who they are, it is oftentimes it leads them to low self-esteem or in extreme measures madness. Harrigan observed that the purpose of telling your child that they are adopted is important of making it important, such as positive reinforcement. This ensures that a child that is adopted is that knows that they are a positive experience. This is important because many kids growing up thinking that they were not loved and that is why they were given up for adoption. Oftentimes, little kids tease each other, saying that the other was adopted and their parents didn't love them. Although it is very harsh, it is the reality and kids do this often, which is the reason why it is important to instill confidence in the adopted child with adopted identity. Tell them that they are different from other kids, but that is an important aspect of who they are as an individual. Adoption stories are crucial for children so that they can build on their identity early on in age and create a shield against bullying in schools. The child's knowledge of their origins also creates a path to their socialization. For my next topic, I'd like to talk about socialization and how that affects an adopted child versus how it affects a child who is not adopted. So socialization is the process in which people learn from others that shapes them into becoming who they are. Because parents who adopt children are oftentimes of a different background, that may cause changes in the socialization of a child. Quote, international adoption occurs when an individual living in one country adopts a child born in a different country through permanent legal means and brings the child to live with them in their home country. In the 1990s, the United States saw a near doubling in the number of parents adopting foreign children. End quote, Population Bureau 2009. So these children are coming from other sides of the world. They come to America as children so that they may not remember any cultural traditions that they once had or that their family had. So it is up to the adopted parents to keep instilling their kids with the knowledge of their past ancestors. When an adopted child grows up knowing about the ancestors, knowing about their adoption process, and knowing about their family and who loves them, it creates a child that is more open to diversity. The more a child knows about different cultures, the more the child is going to be diverse and open to social change. Femi Jaffer conducted a study in which he sampled Indian children who were adopted by white parents. He found that it was important to encourage parents to help children develop bicultural identity and competence. Jaffer, 2014. This already sets the path for adopted children to be more culturally exposed, as well as broadening their understanding of cultural differences. The most important thing for adopted children to have is love and acceptance. It is very important to instill their child with confidence in why they were adopted, where they came from, and how they came to be. An individual's confidence is one in which creates a happy soul. Adopted children are more prone to being cultural, mentally, and racially diverse because of it's a big part in their lives. Adopted kids become targets to bullying and other discriminative actions because they are different than the other kids. But in order to prevent the child from oversensitivity towards discrimination, it is important that they know about themselves and are confident in who they are as individuals. All in all, the socialization of an adopted child will only differ in that of a child who is not, because an adopted child will be more instilled with diversity at an early age, who will also be instilled with confidence in their adopted identity. So that's going to conclude my video. I just like to say thank you for having me in your class. I really learned a lot. I feel like my perception on society has really broadened because of this class. And yeah, so thank you and bye.